Welcome back to the DM Injury Law Game of the Week. We're here at Kearney, and we are just so honored to have Mr. Basketball for Kearney, Hall of Fame girls coach, Coach Herb Webster. So, Coach spent many of his years here, athletic director, basketball coach. But you started in the 1960s, and you end up here. Tell us a little bit about some of your coaching career, some of your moves to get you here at Kearney.
I started at Jamesport Tri-County in 1967. And surprised when in the summer, I was having to take some driver education courses at Northeast Missouri to get certified. The superintendent called. I thought he was checking to make sure I took my classes. And he says, no, I want you to take 2 more classes. I said, what am I taking? He says, you're going to take some administration classes. I've just named you my high school principal. So here I am, my very first year. I'm a high school principal, head girls, head boys basketball coach.
Well, and your whole career, everywhere you were successful as a coach and administrator. You retired here in 2012.
Correct.
Then became the athletic director, and you're still at all the games. And I know we talked to Coach Starchel and Coach Ressler. They both say they still, get advice from you a little bit. And, you fell in love with the Kearney community. What is so special about the Kearney community?
Well, the best thing about it that I saw, I grew up a very, very poor boy on a farm in North Missouri. Well, it's not city here.
Yeah.
This is almost like a farming community, even though they don't farm a lot around here. So it's got that hometown feeling to you all the time. You're not in a big city, but it takes you about 10 or 15 minutes and you can get into the larger city. So that was the thing that really impressed me.
Well, yeah, and you've seen this town grow. Just a couple other things. I think it's really important because you, as one of the, original girl basketball coaches in Kansas City, been around a long time. Describe, in your opinion, how Kansas City girls basketball has evolved to really a hot spot.
When I first started coaching, there was a few. When I went to Hamilton, Kearney High School, Hamilton, we played St. Mary's in a sectional ball game. And that was my first experience with the Kansas City area schools against St. Mary's. So when I got down here and got to coach against the school, there was a lot of schools, bigger schools in Kearney that we played, and they really wasn't that good compared to what I went against when I was at Hamilton. But it took about 4 or 5 years, and then things started changing. I think one of the big things that changed was schools started putting coaches in there that wanted to coach girls basketball, and they were ready to go. Brad Gaines at Oak Grove, when he came in, we had a tremendous rivalry between them. Diane Tingler was over at Smithville, and we just had a lot of good coaches that came around, and they elevated the game of basketball.
Yeah, and you're one of them that did that. I got to ask you this also. 900 wins, it took a big part of your life, your dedication as a teacher, administrator. What do you miss about coaching?
What I missed, and this was the thing that games was not, they were important, but my practices, because I was in charge of everything. I didn't have to worry about officials or crowd or nothing. I was in charge of everything, and I loved to break the game down and teach the kids the game of basketball. And that was what I missed the most.
Yeah, and I agree with you. But here's a legendary coach, Coach Herb Webster. Thank you for your time. 5-on-5 Sports and DM Injury Law. Enjoyed your interview, and good luck the rest of your career.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
We'll be right back.